3. We're live.
Live from around the world. It's the Saturday evening, Sunday morning live show, live stream of Rice Field Records and Uncle Dan's Vintage Vinyl, bringing you the somethingest of music information and disinformation, especially when Uncle Dan is talking. Well, there.
Good to see you again, my friend. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Do we have any viewers?
Well, we have two. We
No.
have two. Yeah. Huh.
Okay. Welcome, viewers. Let us know if you have any questions that you'd like us to answer. We probably won't be able to, but we could try. You know, the capital of Ethiopia is Addis Ababa, and the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow is, well, it depends on whether or not it's European or African, right?
So I would like to. I sometimes on this show we kick things off with things we bought this week, and I know that
you bought something this week.
I did.
Can you show us what you bought? Can you put it on your turntable and spin it?
I can't. It's not a record. It's not a record, but it's more important than a record.
Well, maybe.
It's a book. And I know that it is in a foreign. I know that it's in a foreign language. I know it's in a foreign language, but it's called Record Map. And what it is, it's a publication put out biannually that has a profile on every record store in Japan.
Well, look at that.
Okay. And where I live, Okayama, it's a little bit skint. But in Tokyo, where I will be living close to later this year, it is fat. And although this book is pay to play, and there are some stores that are missing here. So there's a lot of repetition. Like, for example, there's every time you go to a different train station, of course, there's a Disc Union, who's the biggest store in Japan. But that's why I find this book so intriguing, because the ones that are missing are the ones that I'm looking to profile first. On me channel. And that's what I want to share with you. Got a comment here. Yes. Japan not win Derby. You know, maybe there was a horse race. I don't know. No. Somebody's been very bad today. You know, but the prince and the princess, emperor and the princess were at the coronation. Did you see them in the back 10 rows? I saw that.
I thought that's why we fought a war.
Don't go there. I'm
sorry. I don't speak red coat. I bow to no man, no woman, no person. I ain't scraping and bowing to any damn royalty. Come on.
We have some topics that we're going to talk about today, and I know you're more than prepared for these topics, because
I'm ready.
I wrote them down, and those topics are going to be artist records I love, but ones the artist is not known.
Oh, I thought we were doing guitars. I thought we were doing guitar parts.
We can. This is a sliding scale topic, because I'm flexible. I'm flexible. Next one was underrated, unknown guitar brilliances. Bingo. And then the other one are guitar moments on vinyl that get me every time. Now I want to let you know that one is nearest and dearest to this boy's
That's what I grabbed stuff for.
Good.
Although, yeah, I want to share. I want to keep the other ones back. Let's do the guitar moments on vinyl. Let's do the other ones another time.
Okay.
That's an hour's. I mean, that's an hour's worth of stuff, especially if we go astray.
Yes. So
First,
if it's okay with you, I'd like to go first with guitar moments on vinyl. Get me every time.
well, if you're going to be that way about it, then be that way about it.
So I have prepared.
Michael, I've learned a term lately.
What's that?
It's something you say about people. They suffer from main character syndrome. I'm just mentioning that. I don't know why that came up right now. I have no idea.
So I made this main character in his syndrome came up with a playlist because I want to do something on this call, and that is I'm just going to play 15 seconds of each song, right? So my first guy that I want to talk about is the song Dean on Terry Reid's River. And this has got a lap steel guitar by somebody near and dear to your heart, David Lindley. And I think that the beginning of the song is absolutely fantastic. And how do I go back to it? Oh, I take me off. So I'm going to play you, and this will go faster, I assure you. So here's 15 seconds of Dean. And let's appreciate the guitar brilliance of David Lindley. So,
yeah,
what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's like Lindley. I read a thing that Jackson Brown said recently about Lindley after Lindley's death. You know, they were close friends, and he said that Lindley, always got to the heart of the record or the heart of the song.
Mm-hmm.
And he just understood. He always understood the heart of the song, and he just got there. Yeah.
I didn't get the joke.
And Larry Hutcherson, I think Larry Hutcherson was playing guitar, standard fretted guitar at the beginning there.
My next guy,
By the way, I'll tell you later.
Okay, my next one is not Keith Richards. It is Mick Taylor on Moonlight Mile. And that's a song that he wrote with Mick Jagger, and then the Stones stole it from him, which I believe is a true story. And it's a very subtle beginning, and I'd like to share that with you now.
Recordings just got better.
Shit, I hate when that happens.
Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local recordings are now available on StreamYard.
That's
Have you
great.
ever done a recording where your guests just had terrible
there.
internet issues? They were blurry, they were freezing.
That's really rocking, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Why can't we hear that? Here we go.
It's nice. Yeah. Again, in service to the song.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stop it there because I don't want to get dinged. So, yeah, in service to the song. Why are you on mute?
Me?
Yeah, there we go. Okay. You know, this is going to be tough. I don't think I can do the streaming. I'm going to just have to show them. So, can you hear me?
Yes.
No.
I was listening to you. I was waiting for yet more pearls of wisdom.
Well,
Drop from
look,
your tender lips.
I'm not a guitar player. I'm not a musician. I am an appreciator. So one thing that I do enjoy when you and Bobby are talking about playing guitar is you have some technical expertise that I do not. So, you know, what I'm saying is that these songs just tug at my heartstrings and never get tired of them. And they're very important guitar moments to me, but I couldn't tell you why. I couldn't articulate why.
Well, when I think about guitar stuff that works for me, I wouldn't say I'm thinking about the technical aspects of it. I'm thinking, why is it working for me emotionally? You know, why does that seem right emotionally to me? And so that's how it seems to me that anybody could, pretty much can say that. I mean, if you can identify the instrument, it's like the English horn part in Dvorak's New World Symphony, if you know.
I don't.
There's a famous English horn part in there that is, takes full advantage of the tonality of the English horn, which tends to be really kind of it's got that sort of masked tonality to it, because of the way the bell is on it. And it has the sort of plaintive sound that you get with it seems to me double reeds have that. The double reeds have that anyway. But it really takes advantage of that, and it just seems like a profoundly emotional moment there that is just beautifully captured by English horn. And
right.
The great performances of it really, give space for that and let you hear it and let you feel that, the emotional resonance of it. And I think that's, and I can't play English horn, so it's I know a little bit about it, but I can't play English horn. So that's, I think anybody, there are all sorts of great music critics who are not musicians.
What you just said, I would say about Moonlight Mile.
Yeah, and there's
plenty of air around it.
It's done without. That's acoustic, right? And done acoustically, and has a, done very simply, but it really, the song has a sad, it comes on having a sad, sort of, wistful sort of feeling to it, and it really captures that. I get that. I don't, I'm not a big Stones fan. I like the Stones. I have like one Stones album, and I got that in a big box of vinyl from a friend. It's Her Satanic Majesty, which is pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, it's mixed. There are a few jewels on that record, but as a whole, it's not very good.
Yeah.
Like Gomper, and
it seems like just a bunch of
But let's sing the song all together is a beautiful 60s song.
Yeah.
There are a few good ones. Give it that.
Yeah. But
I would.
Overall, it's not a very good. Overall, I would not recommend that somebody is their Stones album. But I get some Stones. I just never pick it up.
My next record is Stay.
David Bowie.
Stay, right? Carlos Alomar. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah. Yeah, very well known, highly regarded guitarist. Yeah.
And the introduction is just amazing.
I don't know it. Again, not a,
Would you like to hear the first 15 seconds?
Sure. Dial it.
Let me dial it up.
I missed, when was that? I missed a lot of stuff from the late 70s for a long time because I was listening to blues.
Hold on. I don't know how to get rid of. Okay, we go. Time again. So for me,
I'm not
that's Philly sound, right? I mean, he did Young American.
Nothing came up.
You're serious?
I'm serious.
Right.
On Cool Transports, tell him nothing came up.
Hold on. I know why. I'm really sorry. So I'm just sitting there for like 15 seconds.
No, it was very subtle. It was very, very subtle. It was so subtle, it was like there was nothing there. Brilliant subtlety. It conjures a real sense of nothingness.
Okay, well, here you go.
It's like the SARS.
Here we go. Ballbusters. Okay. The lobby. Oh, shit. I need an assistant. That's what I need.
I'm sure your wife.
Go the next one.
Hey, Vinyl Dale.
Here we go.
No, you're here now, Dale. You can't leave. Sorry, we locked the doors. You're stuck.
Hold on. Hey, Dale. Good to see you. Here we go.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, you stopped it.
I didn't stop it. I didn't do nothing.
That's weird. Hold on.
What year was this?
Mid-70s, I believe. I think probably 70.
The only thing I'd say about that is it's like
76.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say about that is that sound was around a lot right there.
Well, it's Philadelphia kind of disco sound.
Yeah. That was really, that one is one that wouldn't jump out to me.
Huh. Yeah.
Because it just is, I'd be like, man, there's another song that uses almost the same riff, and I just can't remember what it is off the top of my head. So yeah, that one, it's fine.
That gets a.
It works for you. I'm not saying.
Yeah, that gets a met from Uncle.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong.
No, I know.
I'm saying he's wrong.
my next record.
Don't let him hear but he's wrong.
My next record is the guitar playing on "And You and I" by Steve Howe. You know that one?
No. What is that? What is that genre of music, Mr. Vasquez?
Your favorite.
What is that genre?
Peter, Robert, Oscar, Guru. Now, if I don't screw up again, if I don't screw up again, Let me see if I could just try it.
Oh, yeah. Boy, it'd be a good time for me to go to the bathroom, huh?
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Prog rock.
Gotta
Yeah.
get,
And I
gotta
was
get
talking
ready.
about wanking just a while ago.
This is just so. You know, I know Marius is going to come on here and just tell me, "Oh, you got to have an ad blocker," but I don't know how to do that.
Well, don't you have a? Well, I have. You know, I pay the subscription, so I never get ads.
Can you hear that? Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I could hear it for a while, but then you
Okay,
stop.
hold on.
Like 2 seconds. That's you know, that's the amount of prog rock I can usually handle.
Here you go.
Okay.
Can you hear that?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
you keep stopping it.
I don't know why. Oh, here it goes. It's packets. I don't know why. It must be not enough packets or something. Jesus Christ. Okay, here we go.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Nice little, or you know, little arpeggiation, little clusters, sort of things.
One more second. So, you know, harmonics, right? The use of harmonics and that making the string do that sound that
Yeah, he's
kind of like magic, right?
doing some plucked harmonics. They do have kind of a it does have kind of a magical sound to it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. And so without showing, you know, without doing this playing the music again, I would say that you may not be familiar with this. There's a song on here called Resolution. Do you know this record? This was really popular. This was like their first Mahavishnu Orchestra's commercial.
Yeah, I know of it. I know of them, but I never, I don't know. I never listened to them.
Well, then we have to change that then, because I want you to hear this. It's a very short song.
That's what she said. No, it doesn't make sense.
Oh, it's going to work. Here we go. I know I'm going to get an ad. Hold on. You know, when I'm in the new place, it's going to have better Wi-Fi. That's what she said. Why is this so slow? You can't answer my question. Let me come back to stream now while we're waiting for this. Here we go. Oops.
Dublin is a real part of our story.
No.
It's in our songs.
Go away. Ah, God, I do better putting this on my goddamn stereo and playing it for you. Oh, here we go. No. Yeah, I watched this live stream with this guy, just like, you know, cursing and stuff. The whole
I thought I cussed a lot.
This is weird. Here we come. Patience.
You asked that of me.
We've lost everybody. Oh, I got 6 people watching. Well, you know, that's pretty good.
People, say
considering
something, for God's sake.
boring the shit out of everybody.
Save us here. Ask us.
Well, while we're waiting for that, the other ones that I wanted to tell you about are Bad and Ruin. Wait, this is, oh, here it is. Okay, now I chose that song because it's so simple, right? That's something that like high school kids could write, practicing in their bedroom, right, with guitars. So simple. And this is John McLaughlin. These are like,
Yeah, John McLaughlin,
How
huge. I mean, huge freaking, one of the jazz guitar gods. But yeah,
that's a very simple progression. And it's so simple, it's fantastic.
okay.
Okay. And he also did another record that I like, and that is this Que Alegria. I bet you're not familiar with it.
Nope.
And there is a song on here called One Night Stand. No, don't even go there. Yeah, One Night Stand.
I never say anything like that. Unlike some people I know who go on my YouTube channel,
Yeah,
and leave crude comments about it. Just horrify me.
that was just such a great comment that I made about the Sharpie pen. You had to have cracked up.
My humor is much more refined than that.
Can you hear that?
No, I can't hear anything.
Okay, here you go. What you think?
I mean, it's fine.
No,
I mean, we don't have to. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's
yeah.
like it.
And the next, yeah. What's up? 20. God, we're going to have to give you the chair pretty soon.
That's what. Yeah, they tried to do that to me before, but I beat that right.
Okay, now this
that
one,
was a crooked cop.
this one got what I'm going to play for you next. Got a special inclusion on an episode of The Sopranos. This is the one where Steve Buscemi became a made man by shooting a guy in the face in his car, along with the prostitute he had just spent time with. And when this song was played as a backdrop, it was so. Shit. Hold on.
That's surprising to have that in that song.
I'm going to come back to the stream as we're waiting for this to load. And this is called Bad and Ruin. It leads off of the Faces long player. And the guitarist is Ron Wood, who I just think is absolutely a great guitar player. And this was only recorded once, never recorded live. Probably.
I like that tone. Got a real spirit to that tone.
Mother don't you recognize your son?
So, did you pause it or did I? I think maybe you did.
I can't.
That is, I don't. Okay.
I have
Now,
no control over your computer. Trust
That
me.
is just. That's a powerful beginning of a song, don't you think?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And I'm almost done. This is Steve Hackett, another PROG. This is a 1-minute song off of Supper's Ready, and it's called Horizons. I think they used to play this live. And another one that uses the use of harmonics. And I think we're going to get an ad. No, we don't want and you and I. We want Genesis. Go back. No, we don't want that. We want this. No. Very weird that this is so unruly.
If she gets unruly and says she don't want.
Here we go. Now I'm going to come back to the live stream because I typically have luck when this thing loads. There we go. You know, whenever I do these experiments, it's a little rough and awkward, but you know, the kinks worked out. Could be a good thing.
No kink shaming.
Here we go. What's that say? What? Obviously unruly. Well, Dan, let's go to your 10.
The 10? How about I 5?
The 5 that you've got for us today of guitar moments that get us every time. And,
well,
and I
you know,
think everybody their patience.
This is an easy one, and you know, this is easy. And we've done David Lindley already, but you know, David Lindley's worth, you know, I mean, just freaking monster. His lap steel part on Running on Empty, his two lap steel parts on there are just, you know, they are incredible moments. And, you know, lap steel players are all, you know, lap steel. What's that?
That's my song.
Running on Empty? Yeah.
No. Hold on. Get rid of that. Okay, I please carry on. Running on Empty. David Lindley. Yes.
Yeah, David Lindley's lap steel part on there is just amazing.
Yes.
So that's just great. It's intense. It's, you know, fits perfectly with the mood of the song, and is just, you know, anybody who plays lap steel these days knows that. I mean, you know it anyway. You know, I'll talk to people and they'll say, I really love David Lindley, and they say, I don't know who he is. And I said, I know you know David Lindley because you know Running on Empty, Jackson Browne, Running on Empty, and you know that lap steel part, you know, on that. And they say, oh yeah, and I said, that's David Lindley. So you know David Lindley. So
and it goes into a super high register. That's what's special about it.
He goes way the heck up there. One thing he did though, he also tuned his guitar really high. He tuned that lap steel really high.
Okay.
He tuned it. He used what's called a. Well, let's see. He tuned it up. He tuned what would normally be tuned to D or E. He tuned all the way up to A. So he tuned it way the heck up there. So it may. It's not as far. It's high register, but it's not as far up the neck. So
I think that Grateful Dead and New Riders of Purple Sage also used lap steel guitars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot, I'm blanking on it now. Jerry Garcia learned to play pedal steel, and on Teach Your Children, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, the pedal steel part on that is Jerry Garcia, and he hadn't been playing very long, but it's a great pedal steel part.
It is.
Yeah, this is just one of the best albums. And I ran into a guy at the Ace Hardware in Mora today who knew David Lindley, and I'm working on this old Sears Silvertone amplifier that I picked up during the week. It's needs some work on the cabinet, speaker cabinet, and I was buying some stuff to work on the speaker cabinet. And, we started talking about stuff, and he knew Sears Silvertones and Tyco Del Rey guitars, and he knew David Lindley. Anyway, this is just a great, and he knew these albums.
Right.
And I was like, good Lord, somebody knows David Lindley and knows knows David Lindley and knows the the 3 albums he put out, the El Rayo X, kind of the El Rayo X albums. They're either El Rayo X, which is the title of this one, or then it was David Lindley and the band, he called the band El Rayo X. But just great guitar work, lap steel and otherwise fretted in here. But the one I'd mention is one called Ain't No Way. There's one Mercury Blues on here, which is lap steel, where he just destroys everything. It's just like it's freaking Armageddon. And it's just one of the toughest guitar parts ever. But on Ain't No Way, it ends with a fretted guitar line that isn't particularly complicated, but it's absolutely lovely. And you get there and it goes on and it fades out, and it's like, no, I don't want it to fade out. I don't want that to fade. I want that to keep on forever. It's just that beautiful. Just a great, but the album is great from beginning to end.
Did he write all the songs on that record?
No, I don't think he wrote, I don't think he really, Ain't No Way was by a friend of his, Bob Frizz Fuller, who wrote a couple of the others. But he wrote, let's see, El Rayo X with Jorge Calderon.
Yep. Am I boring you?
No, I'm sorry. I woke up early this morning. He wrote Pay the Man on here, which is a very, very fine song, very sad song. But he did write that. And his wife, Nancy Lindley, wrote Petit Fleur, which is in French. He didn't speak Spanish, although El Rayo X is in Spanish. So,
before you move on to your next album, I want to ask you something. Are there any records in your life that you've passed over in a record bin for years that other people in your life have raved about, and then one day you just said, okay, I'm going to give that record a try?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
That's that record for me. I've never heard it from start to finish. And there's a local shop here that has it pretty inexpensively, and I'm going to pick it up because you rave about it so much.
It is a great damn record. And I don't know, and I was talking to that guy at the Ace today, and we were both like, that band is so tight. The band on there is just kills it, They are, and it was brilliantly recorded. And this vinyl, my vinyl, and I've got 2 copies of it because it's like I got 2 copies of those three records on vinyl as well as on CD. I've got CDs of them because I'm like, I don't want to, I want to have those. This is one that has been, in my life since I was 14.
Yeah.
This is something I've listened to for 50 years. And this is one of the few albums that I consider a perfect album. This album is great from beginning to end. And the guitar work on here is all great. But Hello Cowgirl in the Sand and Down by the River, I think, or my Down by the River and Cowgirl in the Sand are just, his guitar work on there is incredible. He doesn't sound like anybody else.
That's his debut, right? His debut.
No,
solo.
this was his second. I think maybe it was his first solo.
What was his first? Was it Harvest? I'd have to call up his disc.
No,
discography.
Harvest was after that. I think he did one before this. I think this was his second.
Okay.
Bobby would know. It's too bad he's not here.
I had that record. I had it. I loved it.
This
When I was in high school.
this is
Yeah.
a great record.
Mm.
You will find people on guitar forums who will argue vehemently that Neil Young is a terrible guitarist who doesn't know how to play guitar.
Really?
And it's like, no, he's not playing by everybody else's rules, but he's just, I mean, this is one of the great guitar albums, I think, one of the absolutely great guitar albums. And there's this, intense and sometimes he'll just hit a note and he'll just hang on the damn note, but that's the right thing to do.
He's got a dog on that jacket. Looks a lot like Pancake.
He does, yeah. The dog's a lot like Pancake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very much like
Yeah.
Pancake, who's sleeping over on my chair there.
He came up through Buffalo Springfield, right, Neil Young?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, just that real intense, the heavy tone. But just a sense out of a lot of that stuff of just absolute anguish, which is just, it is emotionally very powerful playing.
Yeah.
And so the whole album I think is great. Yeah. This would be one of the ones that was that Transports is that was I guess I could look. Neil Young.
I'll look it up.
Let me know where that fell on his.
I will do that. Because you're talking about the Jayhawks. Yep.
Yeah, and Jayhawks. And I meant to find. I don't know what happened. I've got. And I showed, or maybe it's in here. I've got too many things in too many different places. But Gary Louris from the Jayhawks is a tremendously underrated guitarist. Just, I think, one of the greats around right now. He isn't a guitar hero type, but he plays just brilliant stuff. On Golden Smog, which is a side project he's had with various people. And,
his Neil Young's first record was a self-titled Neil Young, and
I think everybody knows this is Nowhere.
Remember that one? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've never had that one.
Me neither.
But
so the Jayhawks is blues, or is it?
No,
is it dance music?
It's
rockabilly.
No, it's alt. It's indie rock, alt country. So there's a country feel to it, but it's really an indie rock. Do you know Wilco?
Yeah.
It's they're kind of along Wilco lines. So it's sort of some stuff that's kind of poppy, but yeah. Anyway, the song on here that there's wait, I grabbed the wrong one. Where's the one with two hearts? I thought this had two hearts on it. Well, there are a bunch of, there's just a bunch of great guitar work on here. Let's just say that.
Okay.
I'd probably say Crowded in the Wings has the great guitar work on here.
Yeah.
And I wish I had found, I'd forgotten to pull those together. I wish I'd found Golden Smog with a White Shell Road, which has one of the craziest guitar breaks in it. And it's just perfectly in tune. And then my man, Elmore James.
Okay.
And it's just anything by Elmore, but on this, Goodbye Baby, I Gotta Leave You Now. It starts off with a beautifully simple slide line, which he mainly played slide. He did play some fretted.
Right.
But this beautifully simple slide line that is also just hard. I mean, other people try to get his feel for it. You know, it's like, let's take somebody with, a great voice that everybody would agree is a great voice. Let's, someone like Patsy Cline. You can have somebody who can play the same notes as Patsy Cline and even play with approximately the same phrasing, but it's not going to be Patsy Cline, right? And it's just, are they hitting the same notes? Well, yeah. Is it, but is it going to be as great as Patsy Cline? Well, almost certainly not. And that's the way I feel about, some of these people. I mean, so people talk about technique, and they talk about the highly technical players like Yngwie Malmsteen, or John McLaughlin, or McLaughlin, however you pronounce it. Or the one I've thought about a lot in recent years, in the last probably 10 years or so, is Clapton, who, I read recently that Clapton decided to leave Cream and thus disband Cream because he read a review from somebody who said that he had strung together every blues cliche from the last 50 years in his playing.
Well, they weren't getting along, the three of them.
Yeah.
It was an explosive relationship.
Yeah, they were. They all were. Each one of them was the main character, suffering from main character syndrome.
Right. I wanted to ask you something about Elmore James. He never. These guys never. Everything is a compilation, correct? They went in. They recorded a few songs, but it was never. It's not like today where they recorded an entire record. Am I correct about that?
With Elmore, no, he never recorded an album. He only recorded singles.
Right.
And some of the others were that way. Muddy recorded some albums.
Yep.
But Hound Dog recorded albums. Now, with that said, when Hound Dog recording an album was to go in and play, sit down and play a set, right? And they just play a set, and then they'd record it, and it was like, that was an album or even two albums, right?
Right.
So it wasn't, it wasn't, Dylan going into the studio and working out Blonde on Blonde.
Well, what's the difference? If what I mean by that is when he went into the studio and he started playing, it was like free form playing, and he knew he had some songs in his head, but they might have tightened up on some songs in the studio that became the recording, right?
You mean Dylan?
No, the blues guys.
The blues guys, they were going in and recording stuff that they were playing.
In the clubs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were just going in and they were playing stuff in clubs. So they're going, their main income was clubs, right?
Yeah. So they'd work the songs out before a live audience, hone it, and then go in and record it.
Many times. They'd have played it many, many times. So they'd go in and play a set, right?
And what's the contrast to Dylan and other people?
Dylan going into the studio with some ideas, but then sitting down and writing in the studio and hammering things out and going through many takes to arrive at the same, to arrive where he wanted,
So he blew a lot of budget.
Yeah. And a lot of the blues guys,
couldn't do that.
Well, they had no interest in doing it. Like they said, Hound Dog hated to rehearse. He hated to do anything twice. He just wanted to go in and it was like, okay, that's good enough. Let's go. Because you're on the stand. You're up on the stand. You don't start playing a song and saying, hey, this, I'm not feeling this. Let's try this in a different key, right? Yeah, Willie Dixon. Willie Dixon wrote a lot of the stuff, and some of the stuff, some of the stuff they might play, they might play at a session, play the first time at a session. Of course, it was the blues, and you go in and, you work something out, but, you do head arrangements. But a lot of the stuff, I mean, even then they hammered it out. Elmore was more the guy who, he was less reliant on Willie Dixon. I'm trying to remember if he recorded any Willie Dixon songs. Nothing's coming to mind. He did do a lot of covers, but they were. Although when Elmore was doing covers, they were covers of things that had just become part of the blues. Part of the blues idiom. Entire songs that were just the blues players played them, even though they derived from people. Like "It Hurts Me Too," great song, which I could have chosen as one that again, great simple guitar line out of "It Hurts Me Too." And Elmore, and every time I listen to Elmore playing that, I'm like, oh, Elmore, yeah. It hurts me too, Elmore. But that became associated with Elmore because his was his version of it was so great.
Right.
So "Shake Your Moneymaker," became that was an Elmore song, although it was going around, other people were doing it. "Dust My Broom" was a Robert Johnson song, but then Elmore his first recording was a recording of "Dust My Broom."
I think the Black Crowes covered "Shake Your Moneymaker."
Well, a lot of people don't "Shake Your Money."
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great song. It's got a real cool, real simple guitar riff in it. That, I don't know that.
I think he's meaning Mike Bloomfield on Paul Butterfield's first album. I'm guessing.
Yeah. I mean, Bloomfield. Bloomfield, though, he went up to Chicago and hung out and watched the people. I can't remember whether Bloomfield knew Elmore, had watched Elmore or not. I suspect he had. And maybe Cool Transports. Maybe whether Bloomfield had listened to knew Elmore and had seen Elmore. I mean, I know that there were white musicians who saw Elmore, white fans who saw Elmore. Elmore died in '63, on May 24, which is Bob Dylan's birthday.
Wow.
But Elmore was playing. Elmore played. Yeah. And I don't know, like John Hammond. I don't know to the extent that Hammond, who's very good. Hammond, a very good guitarist. I don't know that song well enough to say how much of that Hammond drew directly from the blues tradition, or you can't. We had just this week the decision in the Marvin Gaye estate versus Ed Sheeran, the copyright dispute there. I don't know if you followed that at all, but the claim there was that Sheeran had plagiarized or had infringed the copyright held by the Marvin Gaye estate on one of his songs. I don't know the song. I don't know Ed Sheeran for beans, right? And I can't remember which Marvin Gaye. Maybe it's I can't remember which Marvin Gaye song he allegedly ripped off. But it was really that he used the same chord progression that Gaye did, and it's like, well, how many blues songs use the same chord progression? And a lot of jazz songs. A lot of jazz songs are built, of course, on popular. They take a popular song and take the chord progression from a popular song and turn it into something else. So it becomes you use the chord because you can't copyright a chord progression. That's too fundamental. So the blues is all, and somebody like Bloomfield is. Well, I mean, Elmore had such a huge influence on, you know, every slide player after that. I mean, Dwayne Allman knew Elmore, right? I mean, you know, he played Elmore stuff, and Dwayne Allman knew Elmore. Oh, is it Let's Get It On? Yeah. That was the Marvin Gaye that Ed Sheeran. Oh, okay, there we go. Well, I mean, I thought it was bogus that the case got to the jury. Just as
interesting.
I thought the blurred lines case should never have gone to the jury. The Robin Thicke, Marvin Gaye blurred lines case, because what they said was we want to do something in the style of Marvin Gaye, and that is fine. That is, you cannot copyright a style.
When you say it shouldn't have gone to a jury, can you elaborate on that? For
the allegations were that the allegations weren't that you got a note for note rendering of a melody, which is, and even in a melody, you have to have more than a few notes to copyright it, because there are only so many tones, and there are 12 tones in the Western scale, right?
So what you're saying is that this is a fact that could have very well been deliberated by two sides at a table. No. But when you go to a jury...
No, I'm sorry. The judge should have said, no reasonable trier of fact could find in favor of the plaintiff, because what you are talking about is not copyrightable, cannot be protected by copyright. And most of the lawyers, that I follow on Twitter who were writing about it were saying, this is a ridiculous case. It should not have gone to a jury. And most of them feel the same way about blurred lines. The Robin Thicke, Marvin Gaye case.
Right.
Blurred lines case. Just felt like it shouldn't have gone to a jury. But it did. And it resulted in some, and it was just a bad result that it doesn't have any precedential value because it was just a trial court decision, but it shook a lot of people up in the industry, and a lot of copyright lawyers are like, we cannot let the blurred lines, we can't let that take root, because then you're going to be having people suing over, so. If you go on YouTube and look up the Ed Sheeran lawsuit on YouTube, a lot of people cover a lot of songs that use the same chord progression.
Right.
It's just like, yeah. I mean, it's just a real standard chord progression. So it's a, yeah. So that. So, what are you looking at?
Well, your summation. Well, I'm looking at the clock, and I think it's time.
Well, I didn't get to talk about my new albums, but I'll just wait.
Oh, you can. Would you like to?
Well, I don't know.
You can save them for next week.
Yeah, maybe I won't buy anything this week.
There you go.
I've got an album that should be coming in this week, and actually I didn't bring in one because I want to do an Uncle Dan's vintage vinyl on one.
Okay. Everybody
go watch my Uncle Dan's vintage vinyl, by the way, on my most recent one.
I saw them both. I commented.
Yes, and you managed to comment without dropping a like. Thank you.
I must have had a beer in me, and I got sloppy.
Yeah, sure. Okay, if that's what you're saying.
I added the like afterwards, but that's after you told me, after you pointed it out.
It's so hard to hit that like button, isn't it?
I have arthritis.
You have only so many.
Arthritis.
You have so many likes to give.
It's true, and it's the motor skills. You know, I'm aging,
Yeah,
and coupled with the arthritis, it's
the
hard.
prions the prions that have eaten the brain. It's
Yes,
okay.
yes.
It's all right. Yeah, it's okay. I'm used to disappointment in my life. It's
Do you have that lap steel handy to?
no, I'm not plugged. No, I'm not plugged in.
Okay, okay.
No.
Well,
I've got the amp and the amp and stuff in the other room. So
you have one more. Oh, he could break a nail. Yes.
that's right. That's right. We got
On the like button. On the like button. Ooh.
Yeah, we got to be careful. We got to take care of Michael. He's fragile. He's a fragile fellow. We've got to
My
watch.
feelings get hurt real easy.
Okay.
Well
Yeah,
then.
no lap steel to take us out, and the dog is not behind me this week, so maybe I wouldn't be so bothered. But yeah, no, I got everything set up in the other room, so instead of in this room. So, but well, good. 1 hour, and next week we can do new acquisitions. I'll have another really great Uncle Dan's during the week because I've got my Westinghouse console stereo for some reason is inspiring me. It's like it's so funny. A ceramic cartridge and tracking at 6 grams. And I won't put anything good on it, right? I'm not going to put a record I care for on with 6-gram ceramic cartridge chewing into it.
I think you should take it to a guy who dip it into a bath and strip it. Then you can trick it out with lacquer, and put a ton of money into it. Be great.
Well, if I were going to do that, there's another one for sale down in the Twin Cities for $400 that's already had all that stuff done to it.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Well, I picked up, I went on a buying spree lately, and I picked up that, I bought a cheap turntable Sunday, and then I was like, okay, I'm done. And then I looked at Facebook Marketplace, and this Sears Silvertone amplifier was on, and I told the gal, I'll be down, I'll be down tomorrow evening. I'll buy it. If they said it worked. I said, if it works, I'll pay cash for it. I'm not going to haggle about the price. And
you're a Twin Cities buying legend.
Yeah. Yeah. And I showed up, and they said, well, even before then, they said that I had a bunch of people interested, and I just happened. I was lucky that I was the first to get to it because it's they're cool amps. I meant to get a photo ready. I don't know. Maybe I can. Let me send myself a photo. Let's take a moment, and I will send myself.
Okay. I was thinking that it's possible. I could log into my iPhone right now on StreamYard and enter the stream and walk around and give a tour of someplace, right? We could add an extra camera.
Yeah. Yeah, you can log in from there if your phone will support it. But let me see. Let me see if that comes in. I'll show you the. Okay, it'll take a minute because big file. So let's go. Anyway, come on.
The Westinghouse, even if you go there and just take photos or take a short video, would be great, and not buy it would be a great.
It's not a Westinghouse. The other one for sale down there, I forget what it is.
Sylvania.
Let me see. Let me find that. See if it pops up again on the search. It should, but let me find what that was. Beautifully done, and it had been. There is a place in the Twin Cities that that redoes all these things, and will redo this stuff. And they had it redone there.
Yeah.
New speaker grill cloth and everything. And,
yeah, they probably strip them.
Yeah, it looked beautiful. Yeah, I mean, some people will kill you if you strip something like that. You know, I'm not finding it anymore. And
yeah. Well, you could hand sand it, but that's a lot of work to bring it down to the wood and then bring it back.
Yeah, yeah, that is just that is a beast. And, it may take me a time for this to get through because that was a big file.
Okay.
But yeah, the console stereos get a you know, I mean, terrible.
Terrible rap.
Terrible rap, yeah.
Yeah.
The
well, the 6 grams is kind of a deal killer for a lot of people.
Oh yeah. I mean, one thing you can do is I could potentially get one of those and pull out. I mean, easy enough to pull out the turntable and drop in something vintage. Put in a vintage turntable that would work with a magnetic cartridge and that would oh, here we go. Here's this it's a Motorola.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a Motorola. It's a mono. That one's a mono.
Okay.
It's a mono with a and like mine has a tube amplifier in it. It's a tube stereo amplifier. My old
the one that you just got, the
console has a tube amplifier in it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think it actually sounds very good for what it is.
Yeah.
It's fun. I've got this thing, and it's like, yeah, it's cool looking. It's fun.
Yep.
It's set up with it only has one woofer in it.
Oh, interesting.
Both channels run into the one woofer, and it's got a mid range and a tweeter for the others. My photo here is downloading. It is a big file. Let's see. But let's see. It's going to take a moment. Yeah, this new amp is anyway. The Sears Silvertone amps. I had one at one point. That I traded another amp for, and I got $6 in that amp.
This is a one piece, right? Where the electronics are on top and the speakers are on the bottom.
No, this is actually a 2-piece. It's got a separate head.
Right.
Although the head fits in the case, but it's a separate head. And twin 12-inch speakers, two 12-inch speakers, 2 channels, and it's solid state rather than tube. And most guitarists prefer a tube amplifier over a solid state amp. But it has a really warm sound. I mean, it does not sound solid state at all. This is taking forever.
Should we save it for next week?
Maybe we should save it for next week.
Okay.
Unless, could you hear that?
I heard a pop. You froze for a second.
Okay, it's too much. I was going to try to share screen and do a video, but
That takes a bit of practice.
yeah, well, I see how to do it, but I'm not sure my internet can handle it.
Got it.
There is. It's not on record, but one of my favorites is a great live performance of the song "Operator" by Jim Croce.
Mm.
And let's see if I can do this.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Yeah. I see the lap steel, and I see the amp and the header. That header's really nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
The amp down here is beat up, as you can see.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Out wet, and I was working on it today. I sanded out a bunch of bad stuff, and I put fiberglass resin in there.
Mm.
I'm going to build it up with Bondo, and then seal down the stuff again. And I think I'm just going to paint here. I was debating whether to do more than that, but yeah. So Teisco lap steel and Sears Silvertone amplifier, which just a fun combination there.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, just really. Yeah. So yeah, that's in the living room now. So, okay, man.
Okay.
Let us say then, as we always say, mes enfants, nous disons au revoir et aussi à bientôt.